13 marks most important. Questions. Economics BLSLLB Semester 1. Q. Features of the Indian economy. The Indian economy is the seventh largest economy in the world by nominal GDP and the third largest by purchasing power parity, PPP. It is a mixed economy that is characterized by both private and public sectors. Here are some features of the Indian economy. Agriculture. Agriculture is the backbone of the Indian economy. More than half of India's population depends on agriculture for their livelihood. The country is the world's largest producer of spices, pulses, and milk. Service sector. The service sector is the fastest growing sector in the Indian economy, accounting for around 55% of GDP. India is a global leader in the IT and outsourcing industries, and the country has a large and growing middle class that is driving demand for services such as healthcare, education, and finance. Manufacturing sector. The manufacturing sector is the second largest sector in the Indian economy, accounting for around 27% of GDP. India is a leading producer of steel, textiles, and automobiles. Demographics. India has a young population, with around 65% of the population under the age of 35. This demographic dividend has the potential to drive economic growth and innovation. FDI. India has opened up its economy to foreign investment, and the country has become an attractive destination for foreign investors. India's FDI inflows have increased significantly in recent years, particularly in sectors such as manufacturing, services, and infrastructure. Infrastructure. India has made significant investments in infrastructure in recent years, particularly in areas such as roads, railways, airports, and ports. However, there is still a significant infrastructure deficit that needs to be addressed. Informal sector. The informal sector plays a significant role in the Indian economy, particularly in rural areas. This sector includes activities such as agriculture, small-scale manufacturing, and trade. Inequality. Despite economic growth, inequality remains a significant challenge in India. There is a wide income gap between urban and rural areas, and wealth is concentrated in the hands of a small percentage of the population. Financial inclusion. India has made significant progress in promoting financial inclusion, with initiatives such as Jan Dhan Yojana and the Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana. These programs have helped to bring more people into the formal banking system. Economic reforms. India has undertaken significant economic reforms in recent years, including the introduction of the Goods and Services Tax (GST) and the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code (IBC). These reforms have helped to improve the ease of doing business in the country. In summary, the Indian economy is characterized by a diverse mix of sectors, a young population, significant infrastructure deficits, and both formal and informal sectors. The country has made significant progress in recent years, but there are still significant challenges that need to be addressed, particularly in the areas of inequality and infrastructure. Q. Population growth, causes and measures to control. Population growth refers to an increase in the number of individuals living in a specific geographical area. It can have various causes that vary from region to region. Here are some of the primary causes of population growth. High birth rate. A high birth rate is one of the primary causes of population growth. When the number of births exceeds the number of deaths, the population increases. Decline in death rate. Improved healthcare, sanitation, and nutrition have led to a significant decline in the death rate. As more people survive diseases and other health challenges, the population grows. Migration, population growth can also result from migration. When people move from one area to another, it can lead to an increase in the population of the destination area. Lack of family planning. In many parts of the world, there is a lack of awareness about family planning methods or a lack of access to them. This leads to unplanned pregnancies and an increase in the population. Poverty can also contribute to population growth. When people are struggling to meet their basic needs, they may not have the resources or knowledge to plan their families. Cultural beliefs and practices can also contribute to population growth. For example, in some cultures, having large families is seen as a sign of wealth or status. Religious beliefs can also influence population growth. In some religions, having large families is encouraged or seen as a religious duty. Government policies can also impact population growth. For example, in some countries, the government may incentivize families to have more children to support economic growth. In summary, population growth can have various causes, including high birth rates, a decline in death rates, migration, lack of family planning, poverty, cultural and religious beliefs, and government policies. Understanding the underlying causes of population growth is essential for policymakers to develop effective strategies to address this global challenge. Measures to control population growth. Family planning. One of the most effective measures to control population growth is family planning. Governments can promote family planning methods and provide access to contraceptives to help individuals and families plan their families. Education can play a significant role in reducing population growth by promoting awareness of family planning, reproductive health, and the benefits of smaller families. Healthcare. Improved healthcare facilities and services can help reduce infant mortality rates and improve the overall health of the population, leading to smaller family sizes. Economic development. Economic development can help to reduce population growth by creating job opportunities and improving living standards, which can lead to smaller family sizes. Immigration policies. Governments can control population growth by implementing immigration policies that limit the number of immigrants entering the country. Incentives. Governments can provide incentives to individuals and families who opt for smaller families, such as tax breaks or cash incentives. Public awareness campaigns can help to educate people about the importance of family planning and the benefits of smaller families. In conclusion, population growth is a complex issue that requires a multifaceted approach. Governments and policymakers need to implement a range of measures, including family planning, education, healthcare, economic development, immigration policies, incentives, and public awareness campaigns to effectively control population growth. New Industrial Policy of 1991. The New Industrial Policy of 1991 was a landmark policy reform in India aimed at promoting industrial growth and development in the country. Here are 13 key points of the policy. Liberalization. The policy aimed to liberalize the Indian economy and reduce the government's control over the private sector. Privatization. The policy aimed to encourage privatization and disinvestment of public sector enterprises. Foreign direct investment. FDI. The policy allowed foreign direct investment in most sectors except for a few strategic sectors. Industrial licensing. The policy abolished the requirement for industrial licensing in most industries. De-reservation of industries. The policy de-reserved many industries from the public sector, allowing private players to enter and compete. MRTP Act. The policy amended the monopolies and restrictive trade practices MRTP, Act to promote competition and prevent monopolies. Financial sector reforms. The policy introduced reforms in the financial sector to promote investment, competition, and efficiency. Technology upgradation. The policy aimed to promote technology upgradation in Indian industries, including the adoption of new and modern technologies. Export promotion. The policy aimed to promote exports by providing incentives to exporters and simplifying export procedures. Small-scale industries. The policy recognized the importance of small-scale industries and provided support and incentives for their growth. Labor reforms. The policy introduced labor reforms to make labor laws more flexible and encourage investment. Environmental protection. The policy recognized the need for environmental protection and aimed to promote sustainable development in Indian industries. Infrastructure development. The policy recognized the importance of infrastructure development in promoting industrial growth and development and aimed to improve infrastructure in India. Foreign trade policy. Foreign trade policy, FTP, is a set of guidelines and strategies implemented by a government to regulate and encourage foreign trade. The FTP aims to promote the country's exports and reduce imports, improve balance of trade, and boost economic growth. Here are some key aspects of foreign trade policy. Export promotion. The FTP aims to promote exports by providing various incentives to exporters, such as duty drawback schemes, export promotion capital goods scheme, and export-oriented unit scheme. The policy also aims to simplify export procedures and reduce transaction costs for exporters. Import regulations. The FTP aims to regulate imports by imposing tariffs and non-tariff barriers on certain goods to protect domestic industries. The policy also includes provisions for anti-dumping and countervailing duties to prevent unfair trade practices. Special economic zones. The FTP provides for the creation of special economic zones, (CEZ), to promote exports and attract foreign investment. CEZ provide various incentives to businesses, such as tax exemptions, duty-free imports, and streamlined procedures. Trade agreements. The FTP aims to promote bilateral and multilateral trade agreements with other countries to enhance trade and investment flows. These agreements provide for the reduction or elimination of tariffs, non-tariff barriers, and other trade restrictions. Overall, the FTP plays a crucial role in promoting foreign trade and attracting foreign investment, which are essential for the growth and development of a country's economy. Constraints problems of agriculture sector. The agricultural sector is a crucial sector for the economy of many countries, providing food security, employment, and raw materials for industries. However, it also faces several constraints and problems that limit its potential for growth and development. Here are some of the key constraints and problems faced by the agricultural sector. Lack of modernization. Many agricultural practices in developing countries are still traditional and outdated, limiting their productivity and efficiency. This is due to a lack of access to modern technology, equipment, and practices. Land constraints. Land is a limited resource, and the amount of arable land is decreasing due to factors such as urbanization, land degradation, and climate change. This limits the potential for agricultural expansion and productivity. Water scarcity. Agriculture is a water-intensive sector, and many areas face water scarcity due to climate change, overuse of water resources, and poor water management practices. This limits the potential for irrigation and crop production. Pests and diseases. Pests and diseases are a major challenge for farmers, leading to crop losses and reduced productivity. This is exacerbated by the lack of access to effective pesticides, vaccines, and other control measures. Market constraints. Farmers face several market constraints, such as limited access to markets, lack of information about market prices and demand, and inadequate infrastructure for storage, transportation, and processing. Policy constraints. Agricultural policies in many countries are often inadequate or poorly implemented, leading to a lack of support for farmers and limited investment in the sector. Climate change. Climate change poses a significant threat to agriculture, leading to changes in temperature, rainfall patterns, and extreme weather events. This affects crop yields, water availability, and overall productivity. Overall, these constraints and problems limit the potential for growth and development in the agricultural sector, and addressing them requires a multifaceted approach that involves investment in technology, infrastructure, policies, and research and development. NAP 2000. NAP 2000 stands for the National Agricultural Policy 2000, which is a policy document developed by the Government of India to guide the development of the agricultural sector in the country. The policy was formulated in response to the challenges faced by the agricultural sector, such as declining productivity, land degradation, and limited access to technology and credit. Here are some of the key objectives and strategies of NAP 2000. Increasing agricultural productivity. The policy aims to increase agricultural productivity by promoting the use of modern technology, improving irrigation and water management, and promoting soil conservation and nutrient management practices. Diversification of agriculture. The policy encourages the diversification of agriculture by promoting high-value crops, livestock, fisheries, and agroforestry. Improving access to credit. The policy aims to improve access to credit for farmers by promoting the development of rural financial institutions and microfinance institutions. Strengthening marketing infrastructure. The policy aims to strengthen marketing infrastructure by promoting the development of agro-processing industries, cold chains, and other value chain related infrastructure. Human resource development. The policy focuses on human resource development by promoting training and extension services for farmers and developing research and development infrastructure for agriculture. Gender mainstreaming. The policy aims to mainstream gender concerns in agriculture by promoting the participation of women in agriculture and addressing gender inequalities in access to resources and services. Overall, NAP 2000 provides a comprehensive framework for the development of the agricultural sector in India, with a focus on improving productivity, diversification, and sustainability, and addressing the challenges faced by farmers. The policy has been instrumental in guiding the development of the agricultural sector in India over the past decades. Poverty causes measures to eradicate. Poverty is a complex social issue that is caused by a range of factors, including economic, social, and political factors. Eradicating poverty requires a multifaceted approach that involves addressing the root causes of poverty and implementing measures to alleviate the symptoms. Here are some of the key causes of poverty and measures to eradicate it. Causes of poverty. Economic factors. Economic factors such as low wages, unemployment, and lack of economic opportunities contribute to poverty. This is particularly true in developing countries where the informal sector accounts for a significant portion of employment. Social factors. Social factors such as gender inequality, discrimination, and lack of access to education and healthcare contribute to poverty, particularly for marginalized communities. Political factors. Political factors such as corruption, weak governance, and lack of political representation contribute to poverty by limiting access to resources and opportunities. Measures to eradicate poverty. Economic policies such as job creation, minimum wage laws, and investment in infrastructure can help to alleviate poverty by creating economic opportunities and improving access to resources. Social policies such as education and healthcare initiatives and affirmative action programs can help to alleviate poverty by addressing social inequalities and improving access to services. Political reforms such as anti-corruption measures, electoral reforms, and measures to improve governance can help to address the root causes of poverty by improving access to resources and opportunities. Poverty alleviation programs such as cash transfers, food security programs, and microfinance initiatives can help to alleviate poverty by providing direct support to those in need. Sustainable development initiatives such as environmental protection, climate action, and sustainable agriculture can help to address poverty by creating long-term economic opportunities and improving access to resources. Overall, eradicating poverty requires a multifaceted approach that addresses the root causes of poverty and provides direct support to those in need. It also requires a commitment to sustainable development and social justice to ensure that everyone has access to the resources and opportunities they need to thrive. Tax structure and reforms. Tax structure refers to the way in which a government levies taxes on its citizens and businesses. A tax system can have a significant impact on the economy and the distribution of wealth within a society. Tax reforms are changes to the tax system aimed at improving its efficiency, fairness, and revenue generation. Here are some key aspects of tax structure and tax reforms. Tax structure. Direct taxes. Direct taxes are levied on individuals and businesses based on their income or profits. Examples include income tax, corporate tax, and capital gains tax. Indirect taxes. Indirect taxes are levied on goods and services and are passed on to consumers through the price of the product. Examples include sales tax, value-added tax, VAT, and excise duty. Progressive taxes. Progressive taxes are taxes that increase as the income or wealth of an individual or business increases. They are designed to be more equitable and help to reduce income inequality. Regressive taxes. Regressive taxes are taxes that have a greater impact on low-income individuals and businesses than on high-income ones. Examples include sales tax and VAT, which are applied to goods and services regardless of income level. Tax reforms. Simplification of tax laws. Tax reforms may aim to simplify tax laws to make them more transparent and easier to understand, reducing compliance costs for individuals and businesses. Broadening of tax base. Tax reforms may aim to broaden the tax base by reducing exemptions and loopholes, increasing the number of taxpayers, and reducing the tax burden on individual taxpayers. Reduction of tax rates. Tax reforms may aim to reduce tax rates to stimulate economic growth, encourage investment and consumption, and reduce the tax burden on taxpayers. Strengthening of tax administration. Tax reforms may aim to strengthen tax administration by improving tax collection systems, reducing tax evasion and corruption, and improving accountability and transparency. Introduction of new taxes. Tax reforms may also introduce new taxes, such as environmental taxes or taxes on luxury goods, to generate additional revenue and encourage sustainable economic practices. Overall, tax structure and tax reforms play a critical role in shaping the economy and society. An effective tax system should be equitable, efficient, and transparent, and should strike a balance between generating revenue and promoting economic growth and social welfare. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Law_Janvi